So I wanted to do a little Hope Core video for you guys. I want to do a little Hope Core video. And I want you guys to know this. I know that for some of you who is celebrating the No King strike, I am in celebration with you guys. That there is some MAGA people who has been saying, you did all of that and it was for nothing. What was you expecting? What was it all for? There's some MAGA people who just assumes that 7 million people must have got paid because that's the only reason why people strike now these days. And I know that there's some of you who's looking at the news, who's hearing a lot of the stuff that's happening, and you feel discouraged. I need you guys to understand something. Everything that you do, everything that you do will have an effect. In the world of science, right, there is cause and effect, right? Everything has a cause and effect, right? Everything has a weight to it. Everything has inertia to it. Everything, right, has energy exerted into it. And I'm telling you, anything that you do will always have an effect. Even if it doesn't look like it did not have an effect, like even if you don't see it today, there is always an effect to every single thing that you do. I know that there's a lot of people who doesn't really believe in religion and whatnot. But there is always one thing that I truly kind of do believe is really real. And that is, there is a scripture that says, the power of curses and blessings lies in the power of your tongue. And what it simply means is that you speak life into way more things than you believe you do. You really do. And I'm telling you guys that life is kind of like a stack of dominoes. It's kind of like ripples on the ocean. You know what? That's even better. It is like ripples on the ocean. You throw a rock into the ocean and a ripple goes forth. Sometimes you don't always see that where that ripple lands up or where it might end. But the ripple is still going to happen regardless. And it will go on and on and on until it crashes into something else. The No Kings March, the No Kings strikes, what we did on that day is going to mean something. Maybe we don't see it today. Maybe we don't see it tomorrow. Maybe we don't see it next week. Maybe we don't see it next month. Maybe we don't even see it next year. But I'm telling you that everything that you do does have an effect. I always used to be the type of person that always believed in this. Even if it doesn't change 100 people's minds, if you can just change one person's mind, if you could just get one person, just one, and you do that every single day, you will eventually land up with 1 million more people on your cause. You will. I always used to think about it like this. When the civil rights movement happened, I'm sure there was a lot of people who told Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and Rosa Parks and a lot of our black leaders, what are you doing? This isn't going to change anything. You're doing all of this. You're putting your life in danger. You're putting other people's lives in danger. And for what? What is this going to amount to? They're never going to change. This is how they're always going to see us. They're never going to respect us. They're never going to see eye to eye with us. They're never going to be able to accept that we're human beings. I don't understand why you're doing this. I don't understand why you're putting your life on the line. I don't understand. Imagine all the hardships these people had to go through. Like, seriously. How many people died all in the name of equal rights? How many people lost their homes due to firebomb? All of equal rights. How many people lost their loved ones? All in the name of equal rights. You want to know? Listen, if you thought it was hard enough going up against Nazis and white supremacists and the government, even the government's against you. Imagine the internal turmoil these people had to endure. Like, you're already getting beat up on the outside. Imagine the internal turmoil. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Rosa Parks. A lot of these leaders had to have within them. Because let me tell you something. For me, this is me. I beat up on myself internally all the time. All the time. All the time, I'm telling myself I have to be a perfectionist. All the time, I'm holding in my anger. All the time, I'm trying to be exact. I'm trying to be as brave of a person as I can be. There are so many people who sometimes I interact with, and they sometimes tell me that I seem like I'm a very calm person. And what you don't know is I am screaming internally at the top of my lungs all the time. I am always panicking. As a Black person, I am always afraid of going outside of my house because I do not know who I'm going to meet, what type of attitude they're going to have towards me, because I was raised, unfortunately, in the reality that there is people who does not like the color of my skin, and I have to live with that. So imagine being Martin Luther King, being a Malcolm X, being a Rosa Parks, right? Imagine being a Rodney King, right? Imagine being one of these guys, right? These and girls. Imagine being one of them. You are in an environment where the odds are stacked against you. Where there is people who's telling you boy and the N-word and all types of other slurs to your face. Imagine looking into somebody's eyes and knowing that you are nothing to them. That if they could, they would wipe you off the face of this planet because that's how disgusting you are in their eyes. Imagine having the bravery to wake up every single day and being afraid, but taking the courageous step to say, despite it all, I am going to go out and I am going to march. Not just for myself, but for my children and for my grandchildren and for all of those who I will probably never meet. Imagine after having your house firebombed, or after having getting stabbed, or after having gotten bullets fly at you, you get to survive. You get to live another day. But you're still carrying the pain, the loss of what you just went through. Realizing that there's a part of you, there's that primal, there's that part of you, that brain portion of you that just says, don't do it. Don't upset the flow. Don't make yourself into a target. Don't put yourself out there. I don't want to die. Imagine how painful it is to march, to do this brave thing. You make it back home. You feel like it's successful. You wake up the next day and nothing changes. And you do it the next day, and 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 the next day. And once again, these are the people who lived. Imagine how scary it must have been when Martin Luther King took his last breath and he was not able to see the future he fought so hard for. Everything has a cause and effect. And I'm telling you that if they did not fight as hard as they did, a lot of us would not be here today. So do not give up, because everything you do has a cause and an effect, and it